Hi there! So, I was feeling awfully uninspired. I have a note in my phone with things that I want to film, and whenever I feel uninspired, I check that. But I checked it and there were no ideas. No new ideas for videos. So I really did not know what to film, but the thing is, these days like my mind is wandering in a lot of places, and I think I'm gonna do again like that chatty, philosophical, deep talk kind of video where I will get ready for work. I will do my makeup. I don't think I will mention any products that I use or whatever techniques. I will just do my makeup while I let it all out, like a therapy session. Today, as I'm filming this, it's Monday, and this weekend, I think it was Saturday, I just went for a walk and I stopped in the park and I just stood on a bench for like 40 minutes, I think. Again, I started having a lot of thoughts. I wrote them down in a note, actually. I think it's been about 10 months, something like that, since I started having this kind of anxiety towards life. I started feeling like maybe I am chasing the wrong things, maybe I'm wasting my life. That's how I felt. The thing is, about a year ago, like most of my adult life, I think my purpose was to get rich and famous, to be honest. I really thought that is gonna make me happy. I was so waiting for that moment, you know, of, I don't know, finally making it on social media and stuff. The thing is, I do get obsessive. Like, if I have a goal, I am 100% into it. I think obsessive is what defines my mind for some reason. I want to fix it. I think I've said this before, that my mind obsesses over things, and it's not healthy. If I get a thought, I cling to it, I think of it so much that it starts consuming me. Well, I was obsessed with social media for a while, trying to grow my social media and whatnot. Obviously, I woke up at 27 years old and realized that that's shallow. And I also realized that I'm not that happy. I should stop trying to chase something that I don't even know if it's eventually gonna make me happy, or I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it. I started wondering. I started searching for something else. I was very lost. I knew that I had to change something. I just didn't know what. I didn't know what to chase at that point. I feel like in that moment, the easiest thing that my mind could cling to, I have to search for someone to love me. So I became obsessed with this idea. I was in a relationship at that point, but that definitely projected into the relationship because I demanded more. I felt like I was looking for this ideal partner for me, and that I realize now that it's also very unhealthy. I don't think that I was actively trying to do that. Just looking back, I realized that I was chasing this thought, this idea of being loved and accepted by somebody. It's not like I was actively looking for it back then. Thing is, like a few months ago, 10 months ago, whatever, I think it was about April last year, something like really changed inside of me. And after that, the thing is, my entire life collapsed. Looking back a year ago, nothing is the same. Not my job, not my relationship status, not my living situation, nothing is the same. I feel like everything I've built until I was 27 collapsed after I turned 27. I've always kind of knew that it's not a bad thing, because my whole purpose was to rebuild my life from scratch. Well, back to my purpose, to my chase. I think I had this realization last week that I am chasing someone to love me, that I'm really clinging to this idea of somebody loving me. and accepting me, that my purpose is collapsing again. I realized that chasing something so, being so obsessed with something that you don't even have control over. Realistically, I don't know if, I don't know, for example, my first goal, I don't know if I'll ever grow on social media, and I have to be okay with that. Secondly, I don't know if I'm ever going to find a partner that's gonna fit my standard, let's say. And again, I have to be okay with that. Because if I rely on that and I eventually realize that it's not happening, my world is going to collapse again. So these days I was thinking, like, what can I do with my life? What am I chasing? I did have to find some sort of new purpose. And having these thoughts in mind that I can't rely on something that I just don't know if it's ever going to happen, I just came to the conclusion that I have to pick something, like pick a purpose, well, whatever, yeah, a purpose, I think, that has no chance of disappointing me. Weirdly enough, as I was sitting, oh my god, that was too much. As I was sitting on that bench in the park, I was just sitting there, feeling the wind on my skin and hearing crows and other birds, probably. It was at sunset, so it was pretty beautiful. It made me realize that for me, that is what life is about. I think my happiness lies in a series of moments like that. Moments when I am present, when I just feel alive. Because my anxiety towards life last year happened because I feel like I wasn't living enough. It felt like I was wasting my life, and that I just did not experience life as much as I wanted to. I should have realized it back then, but it did took me a while, that my purpose is just exploring life and experiencing as much as I can. Because last year I was kind of settled already, and I started getting these thoughts of, like, is this really what I want? So my change was triggered by the fact that I realized this life is so short. Because I feel like I was 17 and then I blinked and I turned 27. And my biggest fear is looking back on my life and realizing that I did not do enough. Realizing that maybe I did not live enough, maybe I didn't experience as many things as I wanted to. So I basically just destroyed my life. Everything collapsed on me. Now that I look back on it, I think it was a great opportunity to rebuild. And I'm still rebuilding, because it does take a while. I know that I have to be patient, and not everything falls in order. Actually, in my life at the moment, nothing falls in order. Everything is pure chaos, and it's something that I need to learn to live with, because I used to be so organized, like I had everything figured out, and now I don't have anything figured out. So it's a new lifestyle. But again, these days, while I was thinking about my purpose and what I want to do in life, I started writing a list. It was simple. I was writing a list of things that make me happy, like literally little things. You can imagine stuff like seeing a new place, traveling, I don't know, trying out a new recipe. The thing is, I think what defines me the most is I wanna do new things. Like, I wanna experience as much as I can. I wanna collect memories and experiences. Whatever, I made that list, and I realized that my sole purpose should be my happiness. And to me, at the moment, means including those things into my life, and also being present. As I was standing on that bench, sitting, just feeling the wind, hearing the birds, I realized that in that moment I felt happy. I felt genuine, pure happiness. And I realized that we are running towards things that most of the time they don't even matter. It's so easy to get swept into all of this chaos and forget to just stop and enjoy life. I feel like it is just about trying not to get so distracted by all of these things that we as people invented, like, I don't know, jobs, material things in general. We get so distracted by that we just forget to live. And by the way, I think I'm done being so abstract. About that list that I did, about things that make me happy, the first thing, I think the most relevant one on the list was traveling. But it's mostly traveling outside the country, because I don't know, to me it just gives me such a different feeling. Maybe it's weird, but I do really enjoy that feeling of being a stranger in a place. I think I need to think about that. But I do feel happier outside the borders of Romania, so so having that in mind, also remembering how I felt every time I would travel outside the country. I always felt that, again, that pure happiness, like I would just be there and just think, wow, like I'm really doing this. I feel more alive than ever. With that in mind, I'm going into another trip. Like every time I feel lost, I book a trip, but it's fine. It's like a coping mechanism. I think it does actually help me get further in life, knowing myself and just evolving as a being. It's exciting, so I have to tell you about it. I'm going to Italy again because I really loved Italy. I'm going to Rome this time, and the exciting part about this trip is that it's something that I had on my bucket list for a while. I want to travel alone, so I'll be going alone this time. It's the first time in my life I'm going alone outside the country. It gets even more exciting because last night I also got a train ticket from Rome to Florence. So while I will be in Italy, I will see Rome as well as Florence, which fills up my heart. It's also like really soon. I think it's like 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half from when I'm filming this video. So yeah, my purpose for now is going to be knowing myself, knowing what makes me happy, and including that in my life. I really should feel happy and excited about my life, so I'm gonna make it as exciting as I can for me. It doesn't always have to be traveling outside the country, like I'm not Bill Gates and it's fine. But there are also other things, like little things that do make me happy, and a lot of them are actually free, which is fine. I mean, who said money doesn't buy happiness? I actually haven't tried plane tickets. But I'm saying that there are other things as well that I can include in my life, not just traveling, because that happens probably like once every 2 or 3 months. And I do want to make my entire life a series of small things that make me feel alive. I think my biggest mistake was making my life about something that was out of my control and having a full... I feel like, at least for me, when I have a purpose, I get so obsessed with it that I turn it into a lens. Like, I see my life through that lens, through what I need to do to get to that purpose, to reach it. When you make your entire life about something that's just not in your control, it can so easily crash. And that is what happened for me 2 times in a year now. And I am changing the lens through which I see life and finding something more reliable. Almost nothing is reliable in this life. Everything can crash in a second. If I just find joy in being alive, well, that can crash only by me dying. I mean, that would be the end of it and nothing would matter anymore. Yeah, I think I just have to fall in love with my life just the way it is. That doesn't mean that I won't aspire to do more, of course, but I will try to not make my entire life about a goal. because that can easily happen for me and it's not healthy. Yeah, my makeup is done. That's what I wanted to express today. Sorry if it was a little bit abstract. Barely got these thoughts kind of like a week ago. I do have to sit with a thought for a while in order to digest it, I think. So they are not extremely settled in my mind either. I might have expressed them in a very chaotic way, but I do hope that I made a point. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it and you found it insightful in some way. Well, I'm going to go on with my day. I wish you have a very beautiful day and I hope you feel happy. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye!